Well, good afternoon, everybody. Today we're trying something new. We're out at Mission Point, and we're looking at species number 49, caught on live stream, black oyster catcher. Looks like there's a pair of them. Let's see here. Yeah, at least two. And they're joined with a crow. And I'll just give a pan out so you get an idea of where we're at. And the tides are cooperating, so I thought it was a good opportunity to get out here and try a live stream this afternoon. Maybe we can learn some gulls. All right, what do we got right here? I see Merlin's heard a California gull, Glossius wing gull, and short-billed gull. And I saw some Bonapartes when I came out here, so okay, let's see if any of them jump out at us. And that's your Glossius wing gull, where the wing is the same color as that to me is looking like a short-billed gull. With a dove-like head and shorter bill. Okay. You know, as bright as it is right now, it's awfully hard to see this LCD screen I'm looking at, so some of you might have a better view than I do. We might be looking at a California gull there. And what I do is after I finish the live stream, I review the footage and ID whatever birds I can, and then I re-upload a full 1080p version of what I've recorded with the time codes of the birds I'm able to ID. All right, well, let's see, what do we got? Is this just a mallard swimming by? Okay. And for those of you that are new to birding, Gulls are pretty much one of the hardest challenges. But after doing it a few times, you can start. Let's see what else. What's we got in there? Look to me like mostly glaucious winged gulls. They're the easiest to recognize. First, because they're the most common here. And secondly, they're the only ones that have the same gray wingtips as the color of their backs. I think we're looking at a couple more mallards, but again, I've got the sun right on my back and very tough to look through this LCD screen. Yeah, I'd say mallards from what I can see there. See if we can spot a bonnie. There was a small flock of them. What do we got here? Merganser. Looks like a common merganser. So you can see, so the wingtips are what kind of almost looks like its tail there, the feathers that are above the tail, sticking out the furthest. And you see there on that one, that's kindly showing us. They match the same as the back. And next to them there, the little one. Is there a marking on that bill? The same merganser. You'll see that one's got the black wingtips. Once you notice that, then you look at the bill. If you could see the legs, that would be very helpful if it's either pink or yellow. Scan, all right. Couple speeders. Now this point here gets a very diverse amount of both shorebirds and gulls. It gets a lot of birds that are migrating stop by to rest. And we're about 2 hours away, I think, from low tide. It's quite a low tide today. Let's take a closer look at these seagulls that are closest by. Looks like pink feet to me. And the short-billed gulls, they used to be called the mule gull and are now called the short-billed gull. Maybe a couple swallows that are just flying out there way in the distance there that Merlin's picking up. Let's just walk a little bit closer here. You always got to keep your eyes on the shoreline because there's a lot of shorebirds that blend right in. Right now the black turnstones are quite common. Yeah, there's definitely some swallows flying over. And for gull identification, the eye color, leg color, the rings on the bill, the markings on the bill. Oh, okay. So usually when this happens, that means an eagle's on its way in. Let's just see here. They definitely all got kicked up. I'm scanning the skies, I don't see one. You know, and the goals, and definitely the juvenile goals are for the expert birders. Way beyond my level. But maybe I'll be there one day. Keep doing these live streams. I seem to learn something every time. What do we got there? We get turns here every once in a while, so it's always good to keep, they kind of blend in too. It's always good to keep a lookout. See the white tipped wings there? You got black with the white on the very tip. You know, and this is, for me, this is why photography, or in this case, videography. Oh, what do we got down here? It's super helpful because I can review this footage with my guidebook side by side, zoom in on them. Excellent tool. This crow's asking to be on stream. Now there's a smaller gull, let's see. Another mallard. There's the oyster catcher making that call. Black oyster catchers. Bright orange beak. Past here, I think we've got a loon. Maybe not. I thought it was, but oh, I wish I saw where those bonnies ended up. Hopefully they'll come back. This assortment here, you can tell there's quite a wide range. Looks like there's a meeting out here. Some mallards. Oh. Looks like all the ones that were way out are kindly coming a little closer. Couple more crows joining the party. playing in the surf. There goes the oyster catcher. Looks like short billed, and then in the back there's a little bit. What do we got? There, that might be your California and your short billed right there, with the more, that one being the short billed, more dove-like head. Maybe this one being your California. Well, no. And then these two ducks here. Well, I can hear a kingfisher way in the distance. Is this the mallard? Well, let's wander a little closer to this side of the shore here. So we lost the main camera there for a sec, but we're back on. Let's see here. See if we can spot a few more. Okay. What do we got? Another mallard? Or is this a widgeon? Oh, another mallard. Alright, can we make out any markings on its bill? Nope. Probably another short-billed gull. That one's got a little marking on it. Mallard. You can see how the juveniles have gray on them. And many of the species look very similar as adults, and even more similar as juvenile. Oh. Couple more mallards. Oh, widgeon. American widgeon. That's new for the streams. Very cool. There's a few more that are on this side of me here. We'll come a little closer, maybe we can actually get an ID on them here. Oh, we dive. Just adjusted the ND filter there. It's pretty bright out here. Okay, let's see, what do we got? And down. Well, they're active, that's for sure. Maybe buffalo heads? full head. The males definitely make it a bit easier for IDing. Okay, I think I see a Bonnie, a lone Bonnie. There we go. That makes it easy this time of year. These tend to be the only ones that we get, well, that I know of. Bonaparte seagull. Bonaparte gull. Sorry, seagulls showing my amateurness. A Bonaparte gull. Most of the times when I see them or notice them, they're flocking together. So let's see if he's got any friends. All right, well, let's just scan here. Maybe, like I said, I've seen a tern here before or two. I'm just looking for the obvious, anything that looks different or out of the ordinary. Let's check out this guy walking around. Oh no, now he's got in. I was gonna say, let's look at his legs. That's the Glossius wing gull. You know, if you're from this area, that's the first seagull you should learn, because if you say that, most of the time you're going to be right. Got a mallard, and who do we have behind? Another mallard. Ooh, there's a couple Bonnies in here. Yeah. They're always fun to watch. On a Friday afternoon, yeah, you can say, what'd you do? I hung out with some gulls. Me and the Bonnies. Well, I know this style of birding or live stream is a bit different than I've been doing, but you know, it's a new spot, and there's that. When the tide's out like this, I can get some pretty good reception, so I can do the live stream in here. Drop a comment, let me know what you think of this spot. Let me know how many gulls you can identify. Merganser and common merganser, that's cool. That's new too. See those gray wingtips there? Or sorry, Glossius colored wingtips. Those wingtips are black. Can we look at the bill? So bill, eye color, wingtips, and feet if they're so kind, or legs. The black-headed bonnet birds, they make it a bit easier this time of year, and their size. The later-eyed color. Maybe the ringed bill gull. And that's how I got started. My spark bird, as they call it, happened to have a camera with me and saw these, what I thought were interesting birds that landed on the beach next to me, and I took a photo. And I looked later at the photo of it, and its bill was crossed. And I looked it up, and it was red crossbills. And I was kind of hooked on taking photos and learning more ever since then. In the birding world, they call that your spark bird, the one that got you started. So yeah, let me know. What was your spark bird? Drop a comment. That'd be cool to see what people. And don't be intimidated if you can't identify everything. You certainly can't, because birding is about what you can identify. It's not about what you can't. And that's where it starts. It's like, well, I saw a robin. Most people can identify a robin. Posse of buffleheads here. And then once you know one bird, then you see a new one, compare it. Is it bigger than the robin? Smaller? Same color? And then, if you want to become an expert, you have to learn the calls. I guess we can kind of cheat with Mr. Merlin here, but Mr. Merlin's not always right. That one says it's a herring gull, according to Merlin. As they say, Mr. Merlin's not always right. I think it's one of these ones that just landed here. Let's see if we can. Now, I know the herring gulls are kind of whiter in appearance, and they have a very light eye. No, those are galoshes. That one had some red, so that's probably your California right there on its bill. See that? That's probably your short-billed gull with a dove-like head and a short bill. Ooh, I don't know. And so, like I said, I go back, look at the footage, and then what I do is I post on a site called eBird. I think it's done by Cornell University worldwide. People can submit what sightings that they saw. And then that way it's all in one place, and it's a great resource. I highly recommend it. And again, it's just, what could you identify? It's definitely not a competition. Some people might compete, but I guess that's like anything in life. Scan these again and see if we can spot a herring gull. Let's see. Well, there might be some shorebirds up on across the way here. Oh, it's the black oyster catchers. There's a bunch of crows back here. Maybe let's see if there's a raven amongst them. Sometimes they hang out. I think I'm mostly just seeing crows there. And the mallards in tight. These old buffleheads out here. Mallard. It's a common merganser. American widgeon. That's the Bonaparte's making that call. These buffleheads are getting some nicer light on them. We'll see them a bit better. Yeah, there's a loon-like shaped one. Let's see. Yeah, that's a loon. Wasn't sure which kind though. Didn't get a good enough look at it. And so Merlin's saying that's the short build. Making that call. Same call here. Oh, the Glossius wing gull. Yeah, that's definitely one to learn. Oh. Okay, we got some action here. Let's see. Just looking around to see if there's an eagle. No. It's the oyster catchers. Just the same merganser. Yep. Well, if you like this spot, I'll come back. You know, it'd be nice to come here one evening if the tides work out. But like I said, I've got to be here at low tide. Allows me some line of sight of the cell phone tower so I can have a high enough bandwidth to do this. I'll wander a little closer now that there's no birds here to scare off this side. I see the buffalo heads are headed out. They're done with the point for now. Tide, I think, still going out. All these rocks are starting to show. Maybe we can get some nice gull leg action happening. Nice with the waves crashing though, isn't it? Better than the lawnmowers and stuff going off. What friends do you have with you? You hanging out with the mallards? Well, we'll do one more good look at everything. It seems like it's a bit of a quieter afternoon. Okay, we got these little ones here. Make sure we didn't miss anything that's obvious. What's our guess here? Short-billed gull. Got the black wings, tips. Small dainty bill. Okay. Turn it over here. You can see the size difference of those two. Your Glaucus wing gull. There's your black oyster catcher. Fuel. Merlin's here in the short-billed gull. There's a Bonaparte there at the blackhead. We got the mallard. Merganser, common merganser. Lots of swing gulls. Alright, well I think that's alright for the first little go at Mission Point. A little quiet afternoon. Maybe successfully ID'd a few gulls there. And if you like this, I'll try to hit this spot, once a week. And the other two main spots that I got decent enough cell coverage, then the marsh and at Sargent Bay. And we'll keep plugging away at these live streams and see how many species we can get this spring. I've got my schedule ready to do this spring and give it a good push and see how many. Like, we've definitely gotten over 50 species. We got, looks like some sea lions back there. I know we're a birding show, but maybe the sea lions are birders too, so they can make it. And a fun ID tip for the sea lions versus the seal is the sea lions have little ears that stick out, whereas the seals just have holes in their head. Hopefully I can be giving you more birding tips as we both get better, as we all get better at this. Okay, well thanks for joining me this Friday afternoon. We'll see you soon. Probably gonna do the next live stream on Monday. All right, well have a great weekend and see you next time.